Welcome back to Hour 2 of Stars Without Number, Abaddon, this time for realsies. We're just gonna go right back into it. Liam, where are we?
I have ice cream. Sweet. So, we come back to the crew as they're being led through alleyways and corridors, and once again receiving the same kind of hostile stares. But I think there's can I get what skills does
Notice?
this team have? You probably notice, right? That's probably the most.
Is it
yeah,
like noticing people's reactions?
Yeah, give me notice.
Notice with
skill
charisma
rolls.
or wisdom?
Charisma. Oh, either.
Either?
Whatever's better for you, because I think either makes sense.
We're all
Because
rolling
viewing
this?
it in a different light.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, charisma's like knowing people and like yeah.
I mean, Gwen is just reading surface thoughts anyway, right?
Yeah. Because it literally doesn't take me any power to do it. I'll still roll notice just in case.
Notice with what?
Charisma.
Either
Charisma
charisma
or
or
wisdom.
Charisma.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's been so long since I rolled something.
Right?
No,
I
left.
know. It's...
Cool. All right.
Nice.
So you will notice, the difference this time is you'll get shot an evil look. There's definitely no like catcalling or like insults yelled, apart from maybe one or two. And you notice that anytime that happens, the trip like turns to look at that person, and that person generally like scampers away, down an alleyway or flees somewhere. And the looks, you're getting shot evil looks or like looks filled with hatred, but like they'll look at you, see you notice, probably the tens notice, they specifically see Trit, and then like look away again, like look down and away. Yeah, I think the tear. Yeah, I think the tens probably also, and the tens and probably Matua, because I think she knows enough about people and spaces in general to be able to get it a little bit easier. That like the spaces as a whole, spaces as a people are they don't give a shit about the rules, right? Like they'll do whatever, whenever, because fuck the rules, right? They're very anarchic people. So to see a large group of spaces, the people who are not only spaces but associated with a terrorist organization, acting timid around someone, probably gives you an idea of who you're dealing with here. So yeah, as you're kind of led and walked through these corridors, you eventually end up in, like, you're up a turbo lift and end up in a in front of a set of double doors, like larger bulkhead doors. As you're kind of walking, Trip turns around and is kind of like floating and kind of like bouncing backwards, and says, I'd get your story straight now. You're about to talk to 3 people who want you dead. Make sure you know what you're going to say. Make it convincing. He kind of pushes himself back around and floats to the front.
I just turn to Constantly and say, can you actually do anything in the situation? Can you convince them?
Well, I'm working on it, Gwen. I think I got an angle. Don't worry
We could
about
put
it.
up a mock battle, or I don't know.
You can beat shit up. You'll be fine.
I can't.
Yeah.
It's Constantine, you're the one here who says he's the best at talking. It's your turn to talk.
I'm not going first. Fuck that.
Spokesperson.
I have my case. I know they want what I have.
Yeah.
No one wants what you have.
So at that point, like without breaking stride / hop / float weird in between,
Walk.
like floats, like the door opens before him, and he floats through. He says, the guests are here. And you kind of see out onto like operations deck. Something you recognize from maybe a couple of stations you've been on in your life. There's like monitors and view screens everywhere. There's like almost like a hollow table in the middle of the room, with like a floating view of the space around the station. So you can see like the station itself in the dead center, and you've got like blips on there that show like the passage of ships. There's like holographic asteroids and shit like that around it. And the scale is pretty massive. Like the station's a tiny blip, and you kind of get a good view of kind of the area around. You can't see any major celestial bodies on there, so you still don't really have a great idea where you are. But you are in some sort of asteroid belt, because there wouldn't be this many asteroids or meteors or comets or whatever you like in this sort of area. So you're either in like the belt that includes Ceres, and you don't think you've gone far enough to have, like, you haven't been traveling long enough to have reached like Saturn. So you're probably somewhere in that belt. Would be a good guess, or in one of the more minor, like asteroid belts in the area.
No, we're not in the Kepler belt because that's way too far away.
So yeah, as you guys kind of get let in, there are 4 people kind of floating around this table in the middle. You see, and Trick goes and joins them. So you see these 4. In the middle of the room, all obviously Spacer, all staring at you with hostile looks. Maybe all apart from Stefan. He's looking at you more curiously than the other 2, and Trick kind of just looks nonplussed by the situation.
Just by looking at Ellen, can I tell if she's psychic or not just by that look?
You can't see any visible implants.
Okay, just because that picture makes it look she's psychic.
Yeah, they kind of ignore the weird like things around her.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So is it Trick or Trip?
It's Trip. So TR.
So yeah, as soon as he says like he said introducing the guests, right?
Yeah, he said the guests are here.
Yeah. So when he says that, Myra pipes up. Hello, pleasure to meet you all. I am Dr. Matua. This is
Do you do it in Spacer or
in Spacer? In Spacer.
Yeah.
I am Dr. Matua. This is my companion Morgan, Constantine, Gwen. I introduced the other NPCs as well. There's just so many.
You give you a round of introductions.
Yep. And we are here, well, I am here, to offer our services, which I believe are quite useful.
Like, obviously goes to talk, and like he starts saying something that you don't quite catch, as like Stefan like holds up his hand in like a spacer, like pause, stop.
Yep.
And he Stefan kind of like looks you up and down. He says, do you know much about our organization?
How much do I know about the organization?
So everyone would know like the propaganda, right? Like they're a violent terrorist organization that strikes against like Earth government targets all across the system. You've probably heard that they're like the Earth Defense Force is winning, but whether that's true or not is always something that gets kind of up in the air.
Propaganda.
You've heard about multiple atrocities that they've committed across the system. You've heard about a few EDF victories against like a small Freedom Front fleets or a Freedom Front like controlled station or whatever. Yeah.
Can I roll?
I mean, it's in the name. They want freedom.
Can I roll no to get any more information?
So
I'm gonna do
Intelligence?
the same. And do
Yeah.
I get a bonus for being spacer?
Yeah, I'll give you let's do like a +2 on yours, quick.
Int or wisdom?
10.
Wisdom. I think that's what I said to Matt. I can't remember. Matt, whatever I said to you.
I said
Can't remember what I said to
int,
Okay.
Int, cool.
because it's, yeah.
Cool. Was that with the +2?
That was with the +2.
So you you both know all of that. You also know of like probably Gwen. You definitely know, and you'd know like the spacer side of it. You probably both know the same story but different versions. So Gwen, you know about a station that like revolted, like a mining station that like revolted. And you know it is like a tragedy, right? Like they just wanted to feed their kids, and like the EDF like slaughtered them. Remorse
How long ago
was
it?
it would have been like maybe 15, 12 years, somewhere around that mark.
Okay.
So you would have known it as like a slaughter, like a butchery. Matua, you've heard of the same event, but like for you, it was like the station didn't revolt, like it was seized by like Freedom Front, like discontents.
Right.
They seized the station, and when the EDF like Marines went to like seize the station back, a couple of civilians were caught in the crossfire. And then when the Freedom Front knew they were about to lose the station, they ended up like executing and like martyring the station.
Right. Yes, I say, he said, like, how much do you know about us?
Yeah.
I know enough to know you are the kind of people we need, and we are the kind of people you need.
He laughs. He says, "You don't know shit about me, girl. Me, I came along this organization 2 years." Kind of looks at his group. I think Trent nods. I think it was about that. 2 years ago. I found this is a mess. An organization willing to do whatever it takes to strike back against Earth. Me, I have a background like I assume your man over there does. Military. Paramilitary, to be particular. I decided that the organization wasn't going to achieve anything in the state it was currently in, so I took control.
Would Gwen know that there was not that there was a leadership change, but there was an ethics change or whatever it's called?
Not really. I think you've been out of
Tactics
the loop. I think you've been out of the loop a little bit too long.
Okay. So I wouldn't know about any difference in their
Yeah, I don't think you've known anything about it. Like, you've heard of a slight increase in like Spacer Front activity from just like newsreels.
Yeah.
But nothing that particular. You probably all heard about that.
Good question. Who was Saturn Corp sided with?
Saturn Corp is neutral.
Saturn Corp
Okay.
is sided with
Alright.
Saturn Corp.
Saturn Corp is sided
Saturn
with
Corp-
Mr. Saturn. The Garfield.
Saturn Corp so publicly Saturn Corp is an Earth. Every corporation is an Earth corporation. But everyone kind of knows that Saturn Corp is its own superpower at this point. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
so
Does he continue?
says, yeah, so he says some shithole station. I brought them here after killing a lot of their men. They were torn limb from limb, killed and unspaced. Tell me why I shouldn't do the same to your lot. I know a lot of my people would be a lot happier if I did.
Because a lot more of your people are going to be a lot happier if you keep us and employ our services to help further your cause.
He laughs.
I have a lot of
My,
useful knowledge and information that I believe could benefit you greatly.
my people, happy employing Earthers and Martians. I think you have the wrong people.
Think of it as one step back to many, many steps forward.
You may not want to listen to them, but I'll at least assume you'll listen to something I have to say. My name is Gwendolyn Langley. My father is Arthur Langley. He is one of the lead researchers in the God damn, I forgot the word again. he's
No,
one of the
development.
He's one of the lead researchers in augmentation. I am also one of the researchers he has worked under him. I know basically everything that he has done for the last 15 years. So
Gives
much
his
so,
head.
I have been gifted with the abilities to use them and make them.
I think Ellen speaks up. It's just a very like quiet, soft voice. She says, "And you can replicate it."
I've been doing it myself for the last few years, so I assume I can.
Stefan nods. I see your use. And theirs?
Sadly, believe it or not, they are my friends. Without them, I wouldn't be here today.
That
Much as
doesn't
I-
give them a
No,
use
it
to me,
is.
girl.
Our use, at least mine, I point to Morgan, is him. Put your toughest, most brawniest, most courageous fighter up against him, and Morgan will beat him 10 times out of 10. I can make more of Morgan. Many more.
He shrugs. Says, Kirsty told me so. She told me of Morgan's expertise. But as far as I see it, I've never heard of a Morgan. And I've only ever seen one here. Doesn't give me much confidence you can recreate your test.
I tap my head. There are many, many more Morgans in here.
I come from Earth. I liberated Dr. Matura from a research facility so that she might do her research without EDF interruptions. I am the result of 6 months of intensive research on a ship with limited resources and no backup. Give her a laboratory, give her some time, and she can produce many more of me with capabilities of various animals, whether to increase your pilot's reflexes or their brain power or their muscles. None is without, what should I say? She can do all of this. And with my knowledge, as far as I know, you lack the manpower to seriously threaten the EDF core worlds. So you can only do one thing, which is to up the quality of the men under your command.
Think of a single man being able to take on 10 of the finest soldiers the EDF has to offer. Think of 100 of those men. 1,000. Think of the best strategists you have, augmented with the intelligence capabilities of the infinite degree. Think about your pilots able to see things before they happen.
Trick holds up his hand to like stop you. He says, your research is genetic manipulation, right? Change people fundamentally.
Yes.
No, it's dangerous. Barely works as far as my research tells me.
Every revolutionary field is dangerous until it's not. My hope is to get it to the not stage a lot quicker than most. And with the proper funding and equipment, I can do that.
Trid says, so, you are offering us future benefit. Nothing now? No super soldiers for 15 years?
Oh, far
Give
sooner
her
than
a
15
year.
years.
6 months.
We also have propaganda dude over there, like one of Constantine.
Trit looks across the rest of the group. And I think Ellen turns to them. Ellen turns to them and says, "It could be useful, Stefan. Not just here, not just her research, but helpful." Stefan nods. Says, "You willing to turn over your research? Let my people look at it."
As long as I'm able to inspect their inspecting. It's also very heavily encoded, not just digitally, but...
He holds up his hand again. "I don't think you're in a position to bargain, Doctor."
Can I roll?
Or
Can I roll?
What's your desired outcome?
Them to want me more than my research, because I'm the one that makes my research important.
the thing is, like,
Perfect.
I doubt they'd understand the research about you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, I want them to understand that, like, they can... Yeah? Can I get any
Okay.
bonuses from any, like, the others helping?
I think just roll. I don't think this is going to be particularly difficult.
Okay.
Just don't bomb.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Yeah,
Good idea.
good idea.
How bad was that? That was 2 1s? That was
It
3
was 2
1s.
Yeah.
Wait, just a sec. Before I re-roll that and use that ability, I have my diplomat thing lets me do something. Yeah, I can re-roll ones on any skill check dice related to negotiation or diplomacy. So I
Do that.
yeah, I just get a free re-roll.
What are the chances of that?
That's
Seriously.
insane. That's 3 1s.
Well, so you get to reroll because of your ability now.
Yeah, and then
Well,
I can
diplomat.
reroll because of diplomat. Yeah.
yeah, and then I potentially get another one if it's bad again.
Yeah.
12.
You're almost,
That's
That's
you're almost
much
down.
better.
Cool.
Holy shit.
He nods. He says, I think Stefan says, "I know you're important, Doctor. That if we decide to accept your help, you'll be necessary. But I have my own people, and I want them to check the validity of your reports. Make sure he's just not a freak."
Morgan is many things, but he's not just a freak accident. Don't worry. My research is sound, but without me it's... well, not as sound.
He nods. "Then you'll submit your research."
My research is part of my father's research. He knows more about it than I do, but I know enough to get us going.
I think Trick kind of looks at you. He says, "You can put this in anyone."
They have to be not willing, capable of withstanding the implementation. Only certain minds can take it.
He smirks.
Should I be able to?
I'll take it.
See what I can do.
Okay. It says, I think they all kind of look at each other and say, "All right, we'll think about what you said. Tret, you don't mind taking them back to their rooms?"
Do you want to speak up now, Constantine? May produce the friendly relations with Mars technique?
I basically speak at this point and saying, they're good. What about me and my compatriot?
Obi looks up, says, "I might have a task for all of you. Maybe. Either that or within 5 minutes you'll be at the next dialogue."
What if I had an offer?
He raises, Stefan raises an eyebrow. "An offer?"
Well, it seems to me you all probably don't know who I am. But me and my compatriot are from a musical group called Fire and Ice. We have a little bit of a following here and there. It's nothing, don't worry about it. What you all have is a bad public image. And as my friend Glenn was saying, you need to start using that either.
Trip physically, like, he bursts out laughing, like uncontrolled laughter. Says, bad public image. Fuck. Even within the spacers we're disliked. Do you know what we did? Do you know us? You're fire and ice, that's cute. Do you know who we are? Have you ever heard of us? You never have. Says, Red Falcon? Slaughter? No? Morgan, can you roll a no?
Sure.
Would I know any of them?
Huh? No,
Would
you
I
wouldn't.
know any of them? No.
Unless, and anyone else who has like a military or like a combat-y background, which I think is just Morgan. Okay.
I really want to say that. You know, he was the Justin Bieber of Mars at one point.
So, Morgan, you know that on probably 5 years ago, there was a like military coup that happened aboard a small portion of like Sandcorp like fleet, transport fleet. A group of the security personnel on the ship like basically turned rogue, killed any who wouldn't follow them, and took everything on board the ship. The name Red Falcon rings a bell because it was pretty well renowned of the time. Sandcorp hired a paramilitary corporation called Red Falcon to retrieve the ships. Not only did they retrieve the ships, they slaughtered the insurrectionists who took the ships. There were literally 0 survivors from many of the ships, and they returned them with minor losses to Red Falcon itself, to Sandcorp, in like swiftly covering the job pretty much exactly as Sandcorp stated. There were, for the next like 2 or 3 years, Red Falcon were a pretty expensive and well-renowned paramilitary corporation that did odd jobs for a bunch of different larger corporations like Sandcorp, and then they vanished. They ceased to take jobs. They literally vanished from the face of the earth. The assumption is that they died.
Face of the earth, you say?
Yeah, he Trip gestures to the 4 of them. We're Red Falcon. We kill people. This is what we do. Spacers, Earthers, Martians, we don't care. If there's good money in it for us, we kill them. So a lot of spacers don't like us, yes. Martians don't like us. Earthers don't like us. Bad public image. This is the worst fucking case of it you've seen.
Yes, but this is where the difference between our point of views may come to cross. No matter what you've done, you can put a good spin on it. No matter how you did it, no matter how many innocents bled, they can be changed to something guilty. I can make anything you've done seem like you're walking on water. Not only that, I will say, you talk about spacers getting the shitty end of the stick. Martians, we're hated by you guys, and we're hated by Earthers too. Earthers gave me my scars, and now I'm threatened to get thrown out of a fucking space lock by you guys. So Martians don't have it particularly well either. So what I'm telling you is, a front, a liberation front. Try and excel, try and make things sound a little bit better, and people will come to you instead of people running in fear. You can twist this. I can help you do it.
Yeah.
Propaganda guy.
Trit and Ellen like exchange a look. She says, we'll think about it. You can go. Trit, take them to their rooms. And Trit, walks and takes you back. You're not taken back to the same place. you're put in a holding cell that's a lot closer to this area of the ship. Whilst you assume they deliberate and make a discussion.
As we're walking, I want to ask Trit, because Black Falcon vanished 2 years ago, 3?
Probably, yeah. 4, yeah, probably 2, 3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, Black Falcon, eh? You guys went dark 3 years ago.
He gestures around him. We took up a better cause.
Cat.
Still the same job, though.
He nods. Don't think I'll ever get away from killing people. It's what I'm good at. That and people. Not killing them as well.
So, how do you think we went with the others?
He shrugs. He's the belter, like, two-handed shrug. Spacer. He says, I don't know. I like you. I think you're useful. Them, I don't know. I was always the realist.
Then why
Not
aren't
to
you the
sound
one leading them?
He laughs. Says,
Because he's also a killer.
I'm good at people. Killing them, talking to them, keeping them alive. Kind of nods behind him. Stefan was always the one good at decisions. He's the one who demanded our respect. He got it as well. And that should tell you something, right?
Yes, if
You've
he's
seen us, you see what we do. You've seen who I am. This man demands my respect, and I would give it willingly. I will die for him. That does not tell you who he is. What he does not tell you should be scared of that man. You are fools.
At this point, I'm scared of everyone.
A fair decision. I seem friendly, yes, but like I said, good at killing people. Like you. People.
I have too much to do to be afraid.
He laughs.
Probably find it a bit difficult to kill at least me and Morgan.
He looks at you, Mature. He says, nobody has too much to do to be scared. Should have seen some of the fools back in the day, huh? Found them busy at their work. They were scared before the end. Helen made sure of that. And you too, too hard to kill. That's funny. Not much you can do when I rip that pretty thing out of your skull, eh? And
I
you,
tell him 5 feet to the left.
he laughs, says, that won't stop us. You think we haven't killed augments? How do you think I fucking know what an augment is, huh?
I
He
know.
looks at you, Morgan. And you're still in the atmosphere. Oxygen? Can't save you if you've been spaced, eh?
You don't know that,
Hey.
do you? Morgan doesn't need air to breathe anymore. I told you my work is flawless.
He looks at you. Shall we put that to the test, eh?
I'd
can
rather
try.
you stopped waving things around, please.
Yeah, I heard he's part of that rare space shark you hear so much about.
He's related to the space whale. Look, we're not going to cross you. We came here to get help and to offer our help to you. You have no
Yes.
reason to try and kill us at the moment.
Yeah, I know that. Them, they just don't like your sword very much. Have good reason too, eh?
Well, being born on this Heaven Corp, it's a bit hard for me to. It was a bit hard for me to like these people at first, but once you get to know them, they're somewhat alright.
He laughs. Says, that's not how most people will see it. Like I said, I'm a realist. I think if you're useful, I can keep you around. As soon as you become not useful, this may be a different story. I still have my reasons to not like Earth and Mars.
As do all of we.
You were still born in a gravity well. Privileged. Able to live your own life. not have to worry about oxygen, food, water.
We
You don't
can't
know what
help.
it's like out there.
We can't help the circumstances we were born under. All we can do is change them.
No, but you can step on our throat, Arthur. That's what you've been doing for years, eh?
Not me.
Well, we mining slaves. We bring you water for your failing fucking world. Ah,
I still remember
Sure.
the old tapes. Come to the galaxy. See the universe. Work your ass off.
you
On a side
lost.
note, how long ago did the whole war thing start?
The war thing is in the Freedom Front.
Yeah.
There's always been like stirrings of malcontent within spaces. A more serious, like the increase in terrorist activity probably came after the incident that we were talking about.
Okay.
There've always been something, right? There's always been like a lone spacer who got pissed off and flew his ship into something.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, a more organized and serious attempt at blowing up Earth assets was probably after that. Anyways, yeah, Trip like shows you to a room and turns and locks the door. Unless you guys say anything to him in the last couple moments before he locks the door.
Yeah, I'm just floating around the room.
So yeah, he turns and he lets you do your thing. Does anyone want to do or say anything? You probably got about 45-ish minutes to an hour before he comes back for you.
How are you feeling, Dr. Matura?
Oh, I'm feeling giddy, Morgan. This is going to be fun.
Sure.
At least you didn't oversell yourself.
I don't think it's
No.
possible to oversell myself. I am pretty fantastic.
Yes, of course you are.
You
know,
should
if
have told them
can't
your
do what
nickname.
They want, they will kill you.
Well, this is our last shot. You blew it on Saturn, and now we're here.
I can do what they want. I have access to all the research quite easily. My research doesn't take months to import.
No,
Your
it
stuff.
just takes countless test subjects who will probably die.
They volunteered.
As does mine. And as do mine.
Also, Gwen, how do you find out if someone can use psychic abilities?
No comment.
I was gonna say maybe you should buddy up with Matua. If anyone can read brain waves.
It's not very pleasant.
How
I
do you
point
think
to Morgan.
How do you think this happened? It wasn't very pleasant either.
Hey, don't say that.
Let's just say my father wasn't the nicest person.
Oh, so you have daddy issues as well. Fantastic.
I got a song for both of you.
Yeah, and I can make your brain explode.
That's fine. I'm pretty confident that if anyone's seeing the inside of a space lock, it's gonna be me out of the four of us. Present company besides the rest of you's excluded, of course.
We could see if you're up for modification in some way if you want. Be the first subject.
And ruin this pretty face? Nah, couldn't do it.
Modification.
I want to go and get a feel of Vinny and Erica and what they think of, like,
Sure.
the my side of things, at least. Like, are they are they willing to join me in this?
So I think that you kind of walk up to them and they're both chatting together, kind of quietly in hushed tones under their breath, and they kind of stop as you approach. Erica says, "Matua,
Thoughts?
I don't want to be here. These people, they've killed a lot of people. It's not why I'm out here."
And yet we are here.
Not by my choice.
No, but I don't see any way out of this. Unless you play along for now. If you really want to leave.
She kind of like turns and looks at Vinny. Says, I'll do what he does. Follow him.
I look at Vinny.
He nods. He says, I don't want to hurt anyone.
We won't be hurting anyone, Vinny. We are the researchers, the visionaries. We will be the ones helping these people fight for what they want and what they probably deserve. Freedom.
Fighting to kill people. That's what they'll be doing, right? Killing people?
That's what everyone does. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Everyone's killing everyone.
Do you know, roll me something.
Talk?
Roll me a talk.
Something.
Yeah.
Just roll
I
something.
forget what skills this game has. Talk.
I mean, you could say connect. That's also
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of-
gonna roll talk.
See how willing he is to follow you.
It.
Roll
Tim?
science.
Okay. So he nods. He says, he sighs. He says, whether or not I want to be here, I don't think I can walk away from, well, the work you've shown me.
Look, I'm no fan of killing people either, but this research is important. It's gonna help save humanity.
He nods. I believe that too, or I wouldn't be here. I'll stay with you, Matua.
I nod. Well, then I guess we better get started on, well, teaching those idiots how to use this stuff. Or at least understand it.
Nods. Yeah. Sure.
Like,
Um,
before they come back.
You cut to the other part and you just see Morgan like, I'm sorry about this, Arlene.
Yeah, so what I'd say, like you see like Arlene like kind of walk up to you, Morgan, if you don't approach her. And she's just saying like, why am I here?
Well, there are two reasons you are here. First, we picked you up with when the EDF ships blew up. And the second one is I killed 3 cops. And Matua had to run away, and you followed us.
She like pauses and like her eyes close. And she takes a couple of like deep breaths. Says, this has all gotten a bit out of hand.
I'm sorry, Arlene. I did not imagine that this would be where we ended up, but we are here now.
She nods. We are.
And if it's any consolation, we won't ask you to do anything other than your job, which is piloting.
She nods. You saved my life back on the UDF ship, so I owe you. At least it's the way I see it. I'll
Well,
fly
the
for
way
you.
I see it, we're even now.
She shakes her head. No, I still owe you. I'll fly for you. For you, specifically, Morgan. I don't owe the rest of this crew anything. You saved me. You're the one who pulled me off that ship, and you're the one who pulled me off that station. I owe you. Not them.
True.
Not the Freedom Front. Not the rest of this crew. Not the man with the bird tattoos. You.
I appreciate that, Arlene, but I don't want you to think that this relationship we are developing is because someone owes someone something. We are friends.
Smiles. Thank you, Morgan.
And if you want to get away from all of this, we'll see how this ends up. But
She nods.
for now, let's just be useful to them and see where things go.
I'll follow your lead. Just point the way. Cool.
So like
Before.
a while
ahead,
later,
Quack.
before they come in, like Gwen's just gonna say, just to everyone in the room, say, the SFF, they're if they help us, just so you know, they aren't very good people. Yes, they're fighting for the rights and the shit that, frankly, spaces need, but they're still not good people.
The
Don't
Red
trust
Falcon.
as much as you can throw them.
The Red Falcon, Gwen. They'll do whatever they want.
Exactly.
So long as it gets
Trust them
them
as
paid.
far as you can throw them. And Morgan, don't try to throw them very far.
Also, there ain't really no one who's in power who's good. Everyone does bad stuff to get to the top. We just have to get there. Then everything will be vindicated.
If we ever get to the top, I would be surprised.
I think you hear kind of like from the back of the room, you hear Erica kind of like quietly say, "History written by the fucking victors."
Precisely.
And at the moment, the victors hate everyone.
So long
Well-
as this relationship is based on mutual strength, the EDF will cease being cunts.
I
Most
don't think
stop being useful
cunts
to
are
them. They are
cunts,
gonna be
man.
awesome. What'd you say, Lane?
I said cunts are cunts.
The moment we stop being useful to them, they'll try to get rid of us.
That's why we
Trying to
never
eat the
stop.
chips.
That's why we never stop being useful. Or become so useful that they can't stop. I need to think on this.
Don't worry about it, Dr. Material.
Become
So-
irreplaceable.
Or
You-
replace them.
You might not be replaceable. The rest of us are. I can be replaced with my father. Constantine can be replaced with any other random ex-singer.
Heck, when did the... I am still a singer, Gwen.
Yes, but you quit being famous.
Was he ever famous?
Like on college radio, maybe.
Leon, what's the name again?
Come on, haven't you heard the Fire and Ice?
Leona.
Leona kind of says from the background, "No one quits being famous, darling."
And oh,
See, the problem
good
you
Lord.
have, Constantine, is that none of these people listen to Fire and Ice.
Well, we're gonna change that. And Leona, I'm glad you spoke up. Now I don't have to say this in private and just can say it in front of everyone. If I did good, we get to stay alive, and our digital sales will probably go through the roof. They'll be fantastic.
No one
Leona
cares
laughs.
on themselves.
Leona laughs. She says, "Well, ain't that good news? We needed some more money."
Aye, that'll never change.
Hmm.
Let's just hope I'm not
Yeah.
playing the funeral dirge.
So, that happens, and then probably like the time passes. It's kind of hard to tell how much. And then the door hisses back open, and it's Trit again with the same like security detail, and they lead you back into the ops room. And Trit rejoins the other three at the head of the table. And Stefan looks out at you and he says, "All right, decided you're useful, for now at least." He looks across to Ellen, and she says, "We have a job for you, for all of you, together. There's a ship that we have waiting in dock. You're going to go join its crew. They have a mission that the captain of the ship will brief you on. I think that's all we need to tell you.
Sorry, I was under the impression that I would be staying here in a research lab, researching.
She laughs. For now, it's slightly more important to us to have the image of a non-spacer crew on board a ship.
Does the ship have a laboratory?
She nods. We can put one together.
I don't like the sound of that.
It has a med bay. We can jury rig some equipment.
And you want miracles? My God.
I just mentally talk to and say, stop trying to ask for more.
Out loud, I say, "Get out of my head."
And you look at Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trick kind of like tilts his head and then looks at you, Gwen. Says, but before you go, you put this in me.
Are you sure you want to try it?
He smirks. Says, hell, if anybody on this fucking station is getting that shit, it's me.
I'll see what I can do. I need equipment.
May
He
I
nods.
be of service?
I'll leave that for you to work out. Provide Christy with a list. She'll give you a list. Give her a list of anything you need, and we'll see what we can do.
Some of the stuff I need might be a bit hard to get, but we'll see what we can do.
He shrugs. If we can't get it now, you'll put it here when you get back. If you get back.
Will all 8 of us be going, or who exactly is going on this ship?
He nods. She nods with Alan talking. Alan talking now because she's the one briefing you on the mission. She says, yes, all of you. Like I said, the appearance of a non-spacer crew is important. And you are the only non-spacers we have available.
I have one question. If we go, how much is the current crew going to hate us?
Raises an eyebrow. The current crew of the ship. Would you be serving them? There
So
are...
they're going to hate us a lot. Understood.
kind of shakes her head. She says, the ship is small. There are not many people on board. The captain, the XO, a couple of assistants, security. Not many. In fact, you'll probably make up the bulk of the crew.
I'm just trying to ensure our safety. We were on the station for 10 minutes before we were first attacked. I just want to make sure it doesn't happen again.
She shrugs. Kirsty will go with you.
Joy.
Perfect.
Don't cry.
She
Understood.
she also kind of looks around. She says, and a couple of our security officers as well, just in case, you know. Best to be safe than sorry.
We can defend ourselves if it comes down to it, but I was just looking to make sure.
Trent laughs,
She-
once again laughs out loud.
They're worried
Says,
about us running away.
Yeah, the security force is to put us down if we get any ideas.
Kind of Trent gestures to the rest of the crew. They get it.
I'll consider it an honor.
Trent kind of looks you up and down, Morgan. He says, maybe I should come along, eh?
Maybe you should.
Just in case you get out of hand, big boy.
Oh, I would love that.
He kind of looks at the rest of the other three that are there. Says,
4.
maybe, if I do not have too much to do here. Personal honor guard, yeah? You?
It would be a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else you guys want to say or do whilst in this company?
May
Not really, for me at least.
may I at least oversee Sorry. May I at least oversee the putting together of the laboratory?
Ellen nods. She says, we wouldn't know what shit you need.
Well, now someone is talking some sense. Thank you very much.
And then I think so. The last thing that gets said, so Ellen kind of like pushes herself away from the table and towards you. She says, as she's kind of like floating towards you, she says, "My job is ships. The ship you're getting on board, she's one of mine. My responsibility. The crew, the threats. You fuck with my ship, you answer to me. You fuck with her crew, knows the trip. You don't want to fuck with her crew. Do you understand?"
Gwen nods.
She like kind of like nods slowly. Fine. Threat. Take them to the ship. If your affairs in order, he kind of shrugs. I don't think any of us have a problem with you accompanying them. It might give us some peace of mind, in fact. Tret like smiles broadly, grins. Then I will go with them. Hey, Gwen might even be able to give me my shiny new implant, eh?
Gwen laughs. If that's the case, I'm going to need my own lab.
You'll
Well,
share
you
the
have a
same
med bay.
area.
Good luck.
Wait,
Just
work
give
with
us-
Matua.
what?
She says, Ellen says, provide Christy with a list of anything you need before you go. Our techs will meet you at the ship and assemble whatever it is. We have access to a lot more than you might expect, but anything too fancy and you might have to make do.
I literally just say, the first thing I say is literally a high-grade medical brain scanner.
She, yeah, so you essentially, you provide a list and they'll get as much of that as they can.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
concur that
one
a
thing-
high-grade brain scanner would be vital to the mission.
Also, one thing everyone seems to be forgetting in our little group is that we're probably all super wanted fugitives for cop killing, exploding shit, and all that stuff. I assume you have all that fake identity stuff covered.
Obi nods. Of course. We would not be sending you if we did not, eh? Oh,
Ugh.
he laughs. Maybe we would. Maybe this is a game for us, huh?
That'd
See how
be
the
so true of
expandable,
us as well if that was the case.
see how the expandable Earthers do when the EDF find them.
If that was the case, you are a lot stupider than I thought you were.
Fuck's sake.
It's a compliment.
You see them all pause.
It's a compliment.
And I think,
Morgan
like,
just grabs
you see-
Matua. Let's
you see,
provide
like-
that list.
you see like Obi's like hand move to like his side. And like Ellen like reaches out like a hand and like it places it atop his and just like shakes her head. We need them, Obi.
I was implying that I find you intelligent.
That's not how it sounds, Matua.
Yeah, Morgan is now directly like interposing himself, just moving her towards Christy Coleman, and it's just like, let's just give Christy the list, shall we?
Yeah, cool. All right. So we can kind of like time skip a little bit here, where we skip through like the list and assembling the lab, and we kind of get a quick montage of what's happening.
The list is
Um,
made up of the most high-tech equipment I can think of.
Yeah, so like you're actually surprised by a few of the items they actually provide. A lot of it looks like it's been ripped out of other ships. Like it's all mismatch, and you see like more than a few like EDF stencils in like certain areas of equipment. And there's like maybe one or two that have like satin prints on them. But yeah, you get a lot of it. And a lot of the things you don't have, they have like lesser tech variants or things that'll make do. There's only one or two of the like less important things that maybe you put on there just to kind of like stoke your own personal ego.
Oh yeah.
That like that they like couldn't find.
I
or-
expected
One
like
big
hardly.
There's probably like 5 or 6 things you put on there that are actually made up, that like don't exist.
Yeah, no, definitely.
By the way, I clearly put flux capacitor on there.
Cool. So they don't provide you a flux capacitor, unfortunately.
I tell Matua, it's like, you know, what you really need is a place to relax. You should write down lounge with a stage.
I don't.
Oh, Morgan just
Put a chair in there.
provides an addendum. My suitcase.
Yeah. So, I think there's like there's maybe like a week or 2 week like time skip here. Where like the ship is getting set up. You guys are pretty much held. There's like a couple of suites of rooms that have like connecting rooms that have been like put aside for you. You are guarded and locked in said rooms. But they're relatively nice. Like they're actually like real rooms. They haven't been like converted into prison cells. There's probably like 3 connecting room like suites that you've been given. They have like a little lounge and a bed, a couple of beds, and like a kitchen in each, bathroom facilities in each. So if anything, does anything important happen in
Can
the
I
2 weeks?
roll like just a talk roll just to like improve relations with Vinny and Erica?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. This is kind of your the culmination of your efforts over the 2 weeks.
Yeah, like we're talking about like
Yeah,
research and just like just generally
100%.
being friendly with him.
100%.
10.
Yeah. Yeah. So you feel that like your relationship is like improving, right? Like it's their stock in you, especially Erica's stock, had lowered a considerable amount
Yeah.
since leaving the Kendall. Vinny, it's pretty clear that Vinny is like he still respects you and wants to work with you. And Eric is warming up to you again, but yeah, she's still a bit shaky.
Yeah, I'm trying to repair that damage.
Yeah.
Do we see any more of Trit?
I don't think we see anything else with Trit. I think you see like there's it's like Christy like stops by. The general feeling you're getting from her is that she's being forced. It's like when you're being forced to do a job you don't want to do, right?
Oh.
Like reluctance
Oh,
and-
Chrissy doesn't like us.
It's not that she doesn't like us. She doesn't like the people we're working for.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like us.
Yeah.
You kind of were born on a gravity well, and therefore her opinion is somewhat bad.
Well, she spent like 6 months with us in a bathtub filled with.
Yeah, she got great shows like every evening.
She's probably one of the like. She's willing to talk to you, right?
Yeah.
I think that's about as far as most people on this station would.
Is she locked up with us?
No.
Okay.
So I would say out of all the NPCs, I'm assuming my compatriot's the one like most okay with everything going on. I would assume.
She'll follow you. Doesn't
Woohoo!
Liam, on a side note, is this ship we're getting gonna be like a ship we're gonna keep for a while or no? Like, do we know?
Not really. You don't know, but like the assumption is that this will be a mission or 2.
Okay. Like, I doubt it, but would Gwen be allowed to do some like early brain scans or trick?
I mean, if you asked, like, it's probably a conversation. Like, if you've asked to speak to Trin about it, it's probably a conversation we can have. Yeah.
Yeah, she probably would then.
Sure. All right. So yeah, there's this one day where like Trit does like arrive in the room. So you're here, and I think let me make a roll. What do I need? Okay. So yeah, he arrives at the room and enters. The doors hiss open, and he enters. He says, "My favorite mismatched bunch of people. How are you?"
Or I say as I'm floating upside down.
Fair. I would be bored if I was locked in a cage too. What did you want, Gwen? I have other tasks to prepare.
You said you wanted to be implanted. I need to do some early brain scans on you.
He laughs. Going to fuck with my brain, eh?
Not quite yet. Just see what makes it tick.
He laughs. You're not going to like what you see if you want to peek inside this head.
Trust me, a few years ago it would have been a lot worse. Back before the procedure was made better.
He shrugs. What did you need to do?
Nothing too invasive. I just need your permission to access your brain.
Shrugs.
Okay, then I spend a few moments just like accessing through his memories and shit, seeing like not like looking for anything in particular, just seeing things that might be a trigger for some kind of power or anything. Hard to explain.
The dude has killed a lot of people. Like, there's like I don't know how like queasy you are to these things, but like the images you're seeing, they're pretty sickening.
You're stepping into the minefield of Solomon Kane's pasts.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, he's not a great individual.
She's looking for abnormalities like in his thought processes and stuff, seeing if there's anything that could connect to a psychic power.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I would roll for that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like I'm gonna make a roll in secret to see if he has anything.
Roll the d12 to see what he gets.
He could be like a partial warrior psychic. It's possible.
Most likely what would happen if I do give it to him.
He might not be a psychic at all, though.
Yeah, he just might not have the capability.
Like, psychic in this, according to the map, not Matt and Liam, the psychics are rare.
So I think you see like something that could, but you're not sure.
Cool. Like after a moment of like just staring blankly at him, Gwen snaps back and says, "There might be something there, but it will take some prodding to get it active, which will take some time."
He raises an eyebrow. Like what you see in that girl?
No, I don't.
He smiles.
Your mind is a terrifying place.
Yeah. No shit. You don't kill as many people as I have and stay sane, girl.
Never thought about it like that.
That's a
I just drive people insane the old-fashioned way, yelling at them for hours on end without sleep.
I like my sleep. Do it to me and I'll cut your head off, girl.
Understood.
It's not like I have anyone else I can blame for that day. If it happens, I know it's you.
What about? Yes. There might be something there that can be triggered into, or for augmentation to work. It'll take some time, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. So I think as he's kind of like walking out, he like elbows, like he like gives like Constantine like an elbow in the ribs, gets like a playful elbow. He says, fuck, what was he say? He says, let's hope I don't have a bad dream tonight, hey?
Yeah. I'd be the scaredest psychic I've ever seen.
He laughed. How am I to tell? It's just a bad dream. Could be anything.
I just yell out in the background, I can make you forget!
I shout back before he says anything. You're not helping your case!
Says, he kind of looks around and he sees Morgan and he says, my honor god, how you doing?
Like literally, when he knocks into Constantine, Morgan is like up. Like there's this reaction, like what just happened? Did you just stab my friend? No, you didn't. Okay. You know, if there's no psychic bullshit in you, there's a different path to being abnormal.
He laughs, shakes his head. Says, "No, I like the way I look. Thank you, though."
That's everyone's reaction so far.
I think you would be far more handsome with a bit of fur and pointier ears, maybe a few whiskers.
He leans forward. "Going to merge me with a wolf, Doctor?"
I was thinking house cat.
"House cats. I liked cats. I've always liked cats. Vicious hunters, they, huh?"
Maybe tiger then, or lion.
He laughs. "I've always seen us as more of a wolf pack. Me and them. Wolf pack. Eh? You fuck with one of us, you fuck with all."
I mean, I could turn you all into wolves if you would like.
He laughs. "Werewolves in space, eh? Ain't that a story for the ages? Sounds like something you might sing, hey, Constantine?"
It does. It reminds me of a terrible movie from decades ago.
I like this guy.
He laughs. He says, "I think I've seen the very one, huh? Piece of shit, eh? Werewolves in space. Maybe reality now, though, eh, Doctor?"
I shrug. Anything can be done with the right mind.
"I am not your mind, Doctor. Like I say, I like how I look. No fur, no ears. Maybe fangs, though, huh?
I wasn't
Increase the
talking
image."
about your mind, and I tap my head.
Oh, he nods. He says, yeah, I think he looks at, he maybe looks like
No.
Vinny. He maybe looks like Vinny and Erica. He says, "Then that mind will still work once I take it out, huh?"
I'd rather not find out, to be honest.
You hear wonderful things nowadays, huh? Brains in jars, floating, working, still connected. No body. No less trouble that way, huh?
I'm done now, and I turn around and go back to the
He
Vinny and
laughs.
Erica.
He laughs. Says,
Yeah.
"You all enjoy your stay, huh? If you need
Mm.
anything, you let them know." He like nods at the like comm panel that's on the wall. He talks to the guards. They tell you, you need anything, they bring it to you. They cause you trouble, I take their balls. Trophy, necklace maybe.
Make a fine instrument.
He laughs.
Just looks at you and says, "How?"
He laughs. "That's a song I'd like to hear.
I'll see what I can do. And also, before you go, I just want to give you a piece, not helpful advice, but just knowledge. If Matua ever says something that sounds vaguely like a compliment, she's talking about herself. That's all you need to know.
He laughs. Sounds like she gets along with Ellen. She's the same. She give you compliments, she don't mean it. Talk about herself.
Not.
Yeah, he turns and he walks and he gets to the door and he stops at the threshold of the door and turns around. He says, "No, but seriously, Ellen talk about you fucking with her ship. Ever heard of the one body analogy for space, Looks at you, Gwen. You probably have. It's like it's the analogy, like a lot of spaces subscribe to it. That like every ship in space is one body. The blood and the organs and the brain and everything is every ship, every spacer ship is connected, keeping the whole ecosystem alive." She says, and you guys can decide whether you've heard of it or not. It's entirely up to you. He says, "She believes it. You fuck with her ship, it's like you cut off an arm. See, I'm simple. I'll kill you. I'll kill you, and she'll die. Nice and quick. You won't even know what fucking hit you. Boom. She? Hell, even I wouldn't want to be on her bad side, eh? She talks quiet. She seems reserved, thoughtful. She's loco as the rest of us. Fuck you up, eh?"
Like I said, I don't want to die, so I'll keep that in mind.
He nods. Good. And turns and leaves.
You just see Morgan visibly relax.
Yeah, same.
I like that guy.
Gwen, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Look in that man's eye, the way he talks, the way he walks. He will gladly stick a knife in you as soon as I talk to you. Just word to the wise.
Brain. I know that. I still
And
like
you
that.
like him.
He's fun.
She's only saying that because she has access to his mind, so she knows when he'll stab her.
Gwen laughs.
I really hope he gets a good night's sleep tonight.
Not even tempted to him anymore. Speaking of people,
So
This is the
Gwen,
random-
if
this is the random guard somewhere on the station hearing nursery rhymes in her head.
So Gwen, if someone was going to try to kill you and, you know, or at least do you harm, would they have to think of something else before doing the deed?
How do you mean?
Well, if and he makes the example where he just walks towards you, and he's thinking of complex math, like, you know, like doing some arithmetic in his head. Can you imagine me punching you right now?
I can make you forget about trying to attack me.
No, I mean, can you hear the thought that I'm going to punch you now?
Can I?
I
Even
mean,
if he's like distracting himself?
his surface thoughts are maths. So no.
Yeah, he's trying very like he's doing math, but the fundamental logic underneath is I'm doing math because I'm going to punch someone.
Yeah, but his surface thoughts are maths, right?
Gwen just explains that.
Yeah.
If I read past your surface thoughts, take a moment to connect you, I can see basically whatever you want to do. I can read your thoughts.
But in that moment, what you're saying is you'd be fucked.
It doesn't take very long to connect.
Right. Just be aware that it's an option. He's a killer. He knows how to do this.
I connect to most people who enter the room.
Well, just be aware. You might find him cute now, but... Oof.
Oh, are you guys gonna have psychic babies?
Gwen just says and says, no. Just no.
It might just be nicer if you convinced him that he doesn't have anything psychic at all.
Even if what is there is psychic, it may not be accessible. It may not be powerful enough to turn into anything. Everyone is different. Like you, Morgan, you have nothing.
Of course I don't.
Yes,
Your
I
brain
knew that.
is modified beyond belief.
No, and he says, I knew this before I became a shark man. And you get like this, I don't know, like deep inside there's something buried that isn't even like, he can't even think it, but he knows that he's not psychic. Like he knew before, way before.
Okay.
There are some people who just can't.
So with that we I think actually we'll introduce you to the ship first thing next week. I think.
Matt, when do you have to go?
Yeah, so that's what I'm about to say. So I think it's, but with that we see the the screen fades to black, and we see like the credits start to roll, and that's it for this week.
Do we get an after
Psycho
credits
Killer by the
screen?
Talking Heads.
So we'll call again after 6 months. Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, let's give it off the credits scene. I like the idea of that. All right, so we see so the screen kind of fades up, and we see Trick, Ellen, Stefan, and Obi again. But this time they're in like what looks to be like a bar. And I think so we see like they've all got like a round of assorted drinks in front of them. And we see, so Stefan kind of turns to the group and he says, Hey, Dreads, you remember that time back on... Ah, shit, where were we? Was that Europe? Triggers. No, no, fuck you. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Io. You son of a bitch. We said we'd forget that, huh? Stefan, Obi, and Ellen laugh together. Ellen says, no, how could we ever forget that? You know what you did there, son of a bitch. You planning to add to this crew? Tread shakes his head. No, I actually like these bastards, eh? The big one, Freak, what's his name, eh? And Ellen says, Morgan, I believe. Says, yeah, that guy. It's fun, I enjoy him. I think, I think he thinks he can actually kill me if I wanted to try. I like that in a person. It's confidence, eh? And Obi laughs again. Says, you thinks he can kill you, eh? Big as he is, no one can kill you. He laughs. Yeah, that's why I think it's a good idea I go, Stefan. As much as we were joking, I think I actually should. Don't think anything else we has actually stops the bastard. Think I'm it, eh? He wants to run through every man we have on that ship. I think he does it. Stefan kind of slowly nods. And Obi pipes in, he says, he's probably right. That's the whole reason we took them on, isn't it? Dude looks like he could take down a whole squad. Stefan continues his slow nodding. You're right. You think you're right, Strit? You go with them. If only to deal with the big guy if things get out of hand. Trit nods. And Ellen Ellen looks up, and then Trit and Ellen lock eyes. And Ellen says, Trit, don't forget, even if you like these Earthers, Martians, don't forget what they're capable of. Alright? Don't forget why we're here. If they do anything to jeopardize this mission, you kill them. Silent hand, eh? Don't let them know what hit them. Trit nods. They won't see it coming, Ellen. You know it. And they all kind of take another swig from their drink, and that's we fade to black.
Awesome. All right, we will be back in 2 weeks, starting 9 a.m. GMT.
12 months.
2 weeks. That's everything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Excuse me?